Hey, Shalom, Israel. We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. You dig? If it is not under Commanding General Yohana, it is not the truth. You understand? We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups, camps, Christian churches, Muslim mosques. We're not affiliated with none of them. You understand? And we've been bringing this truth out since 1969, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true children of the Most High. You understand? Tonight is the biblical law class. It's entitled Christian Pastors. Christian pastors teach blacks and Hispanics to hate the Most High. You understand? Like the Lord gave blacks and Hispanics rules and regulations on how we should deal with each other, and how we should deal with these other nations surrounding us. You understand? But the thing is, we've had so-called leaders that have been self-appointed and have taught our people that we ain't got to serve the Most High no more. You understand? So when all these plagues come down and when everything bad start happening to the nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you understand, you can attribute it to our leaders, which are the black pastors and politicians. You understand? We're gonna show you this in Scripture, because far too often, as blacks and Hispanics, we do not understand our own value. We don't understand what the Most High requires of us because we've never been taught it. All we've been taught is that the law is done away with. All you got to do is believe in Jesus in your heart, and everything gonna be peachy and creamy for you. And as you can see, that's not the truth, because we dying at alarming rates still in the streets. You understand? Come now. You know, so this class is very, very important, because without law, we're just people who, it's like we out here doing whatever. We out here doing whatever, and we dying. We're getting diseases. We're getting sick. You understand? And we don't know why. You understand? So that's why the Most High set up the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana. You understand? Because we're going to come back and we're going to show our people that it's very important to keep these laws. And it's not hard to keep these laws. All you got to do is have a heart and a mind to do it. You understand? And this is what the Christian church is not teaching our people. If I could, let me get Deuteronomy 28:1. Unfortunately, we so used to being on the wrong end of the whipping stick with the Most High. We so used to being beaten. We so used to tragedy. You understand? That when the Most High is actually trying to bring us a blessing, or if the Most High is trying to fix us, you understand? Like we can't receive it because we so used to being beaten up. We so used to being broken down. We so used to being robbed and pillaged that when the Most High is actually doing things on our behalf, we can't receive them. You understand? So that's why we got to go to the Bible, and we got to show, what does the Most High want to do for his people? What do the Most High want to do for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? The people that the entire world then threw away. The people that the entire world is done with, you understand? The people that the entire world trample on and do whatever they want to us, you understand? What does the Most High think of us? What does the Most High require of us, you understand? We're going to get that in the scriptures. You got that?
Deuteronomy what?
28 and verse 1.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass.
And it shall come to pass, meaning this thing shall happen. Like this will happen. A lot of times people like to neglect the fact, they always say, well, the Lord ain't going to crack that sky. You understand? If it's a God up there, why he ain't did this? Why he ain't did that? You understand? The Most High say, and it shall come to pass. Like this will happen without a shadow of a doubt. Keep going.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. If thou shalt hearken, meaning if thou shalt listen. Like listen closely to the words that I'm about to say. You understand? Listen closely to the things I'm trying to do for you. Listen closely to the things I require of you. You understand? The Most High said, listen, he said, hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. When we hearken diligently to the Lord, to the voice of the Lord thy God, that is not hearkening to our oppressor. That does not mean to listen to our oppressor. Our oppressor cannot tell us how to serve the Lord. The Lord will tell us himself. You understand? Keep going.
To observe and to do all his commandments which he commands thee this day.
To observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day. Like, though this is a milk scripture, this is a very important scripture. Because the Most High say to observe and to do all his commandments. A lot of times we like to pick and choose what we want to do. We like to pick and choose how we want to serve the Most High, as if the Most High has to fit our agenda. You understand? The Most High don't have to fit our agenda. We have to fit his. The Most High say to observe and to do all his commandments. So if I say it's okay to kill, if I say it's okay to rob, people will really they'll instinctively know that that's wrong to do. But when I say we shouldn't be eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, they say, now the law's done away with. You understand? It's washed in the blood of Jesus. You understand? The Most High is saying to observe and to do all his commandments. His commandments, which I command thee this day. What day is this day? This is recorded in the Old Testament, but it's so prophetic. Because if you hearing this right now, this is the day. You understand? Like, this is the day that you can start getting your life together and you can start serving the Most High. You understand? Call the number on the screen. Get in contact with the Isupk in your local city, in your local state. You understand? Talk to the camp leaders. Find out what we got to do to come back to serving the Most High. You understand? If this is the first time that you're hearing this, you understand? This is the day that it's talking about. Keep on.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Read that last part again. That
the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
They say that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. That does not sound like equality to me. You understand? Like, this is a black man's book. It's very dominant. You understand? Like, we're not trying to be equal with our oppressor. Like, the people that's oppressed us and did us wrong, we're not trying to be equal with them. You understand? The Most High is saying, if you listen to what I tell you to do, if you do the things that I tell you to do, I'm not going to make you equal with these other nations. I'm going to set you above all these other nations. Like, this is what the Most High has in store for us. The Most High wants to give us the kingdom. You understand? The Most High wants to give us rulership. The Most High wants to make us bosses, so to speak. You understand? But it's something that we got to do. You understand? And the thing is, the leaders that's been set up for us, they have failed us. Still to this day. You understand? Like, the Most High sent a virus and set us down. Like, we didn't want to separate. We didn't want to we didn't want to hearken diligently to what the Lord said and separate from these other nations. So the Lord separated us from these other nations. He sent a virus, and guess what? He put us in a house. He set us down. He said, go ahead, man, I'm going to give you some time. It's been approximately, 3-4 months, since this coronavirus and all these restrictions has been on. He said, man, sit yourself down. Separate from the people that hate you, you understand? And start to build your own kingdom. You understand? This is the first time in my lifetime that I've seen, where mother and father can stay home with their kids 24/7. Where a black man and his black woman can actually be in the house, you understand? You feel me? Like, the Lord is giving us time to get back to loving each other again. You understand? And this is what the Most High requires of us. The Most High requires us loving each other. He says when we listen to what He tells us to do, He'll set us on high above all these other nations. You understand? Keep going.
28:2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. You understand? When the Lord tells us to do something, when we do it, He blesses us. It's just as simple as that.
Right.
Like imagine you being a parent. You feel me? And you got a child, and that child is obedient to what you tell him to do. That child listens. You tell him, I'm going to work. When I come back, I want you to have your homework done. I want you to have your room clean. I want the trash set out. You come home and everything's done. You know what? You feel like a proud parent. You feel like, damn, I'm raising a kid that's obedient to the things that I say. And when you have a kid like that, you want to give them everything.
Right.
You understand? But then you have a kid that when you tell them to do the simplest of things, they can't do it. They forgot. Oh, I didn't think I had to do that. You understand? The trash was only 3/4 of the way full. I ain't felt like I had to take it out. I ain't make my bed. I mean, I'm the only one sleeping in it. You see what I'm saying? You got those kids too. They won't listen to nothing that you say, but at the end of the day, they require everything. You understand? The Most High say, man, be that obedient child that do what I say and watch how I bless you. You understand?
Right.
And we can't fathom it because in this society, we've been nothing but we've been beaten, we've been raped, we've been robbed. You understand? We've been on the wrong end of that whipping stick because we was that other child that didn't want to do what the Lord said. And you know why we don't do what the Lord say? Because we got our leaders in our ears telling us that we ain't got to keep these laws. We ain't got to keep these rules and regulations. You understand? It's done away with. All you got to do is just believe in Christ. And everything in your life is going to be great. And as you can see, it's not. You understand? Drop that. Let me get, if you read from verse 2 on down to 15, you're going to find all the blessings that the Most High wants to give to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? But now we're going to go to verse 15, and we want to see what the Most High say when we don't keep these rules, regulations, these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? And this is the one that we're so familiar with. It's going to sound so familiar to us because this is the life we live. You understand? You got that?
Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe, to do.
And it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not do what the Most High has commanded us to do. You understand? Meaning, like this is come to pass already. Like these things that the Most High is about to list, we live them on a daily basis. You understand? We live this day in and day out. And we've been doing it since we've been here. You understand? So just like we've been living out these curses, according to what the Most High laid out, we can live out those blessings as well if we start serving the Most High. You understand? If He fulfilled one of His promises, for surely He'll fulfill the other part. You understand? We just got to come back to doing what we're supposed to do. Keep going.
So 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Listen, and that's what we familiar with. Like we familiar with being cursed. We familiar with being punished. You understand? That's why when we go out on the street and we telling our people, man, we love you. We just want you to come back to serving the Most High. It sounds like hate. You know why? Because we've never known a God that wants to give us blessings. You understand? We've only known a God that we can do whatever we want to. You You understand? And he ain't gonna do nothing about it because he's pleasant, he's sweet, he's all loving. Like these are things we've been taught about the Most High. You understand? And that's because these wicked Christians and these wicked pastors and politicians that's supposed to be for black people teach our people to hate the Most High. And when you teach blacks and Hispanics to hate the Most High, in essence, you teaching blacks and Hispanics to hate themselves. You understand? We hate ourselves every time we disobey the Most High's orders. You understand? And this is what these false prophets, these fake pastors, are teaching our people in the streets. Well, and I ain't gonna say in the streets. They teaching them in these mega churches, teaching us how to be pimps and hoes and prostitutes. You understand? Drug dealers, drug lords. You understand? Homosexuals, sexual deviants. This is what the Christian pastor is teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? If I could, let me get Jeremiah 23 and verse 25. We're gonna see in scripture as well what the Most High thinks about these pastors in the Christian church who say that the Most High laws and statutes are done away with, and all we got to do is believe in Him, and everything is going to be good. And we can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? You can be a homosexual. You can be a drug dealer. You know, you can be a pimp. You can be a hoe. As long as you pay your tithes. As long as you pay that's the only law in the whole Bible that you got to abide by is paying a tithe. You understand? As long as you pay your tithe, you can buy your way into heaven. You understand? Like you see it on the TV, they actually ask people. You ever seen on you'll see the TV show, and they saying, who got $20 faith? Mm-hmm. Who got $50 faith? Mm-hmm. Who got $100? Listen, I'm receiving the word of the Lord right now. Who got $1,000 faith? If you want to, they say you sowing a love, what they say, a love offering. I ain't know why I heard that dumb shit. Yeah, come. They call it a love offering. You can donate if you can tithe $1,000 right now. The Most High is going to bless you substantially. You'll never struggle a day in your life. As soon as they leave the church, you know what happens? Their sons or their daughters get their head blown off. You know, their daughter goes to the club and she becomes a whore. You understand? That's because we're not learning what it really means to serve the Most High under these false leaders. And the Most High is displeased with them, and they will be judged. You understand? But that's why this class is so important, because we got to come back and we got to teach our people what the Most High requires of us. You understand? So we can take our rightful place in this earth, which is above all these other nations. You understand? You got that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah 23 and 25. I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesies lies in my name.
They prophesy what?
Prophesies lies in my name.
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesies lies in my name. Keep going.
Saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
Saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. This has to sound familiar to every Christian. You understand? This has to sound, like the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. You understand? I have dreamed, I have dreamed. The Most High say, I've heard what they said, these prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name. What lies are prophesied in the Most High's name? You understand? Like, think to yourself, what lies can possibly be prophesied in the Most High's name? Which one? One is, God loves everybody. God is all love. All you got to do is believe, and you're saved by the blood of Jesus. You understand?
The laws are done away with.
The laws are done away with. You can eat anything under the sun as long as you bless it. You understand?
As long as you pray over it.
As long as you pray over it. Everything that you eat is clean. It is cleansed by the blood of Jesus. These are lies that are prophesied in the Most High's name.
Jesus' birthday is Christmas.
So like you said?
Jesus' birthday is Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas and birthdays, Easter, celebrating all these wicked holidays, celebrating Thanksgiving,
saying it's Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, saying that it's Jesus' birthday. These are lies that are prophesied in the Most High's name. You understand? Keep going.
26. How long shall this be in the hearts of the prophets that prophesies lies?
How long shall this be in the heart? How long should this be in the mind of the prophets who prophesies lies? Like, how long are they going to be doing this? You understand? Keep going.
Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
They are prophets of the deceit of their own heart. Meaning, they actually believe in the things that they're saying. You understand? They believe in the lies that they told themselves. You understand? And these are the lies that they teach to the people. These are the lies that they teach the blacks and Hispanics. So when a black and Hispanic get their head blown off because they ain't keeping the rules and the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, it's directly in correlation with these wicked pastors who prophesy lies in the Most High name. You feel me? Pretty much prophesying the deceit of their own mind. You understand? They doing it for their own gain. They ain't doing it for the people. They not doing it to uplift Israel. They're doing it to uplift themselves. And by them doing it to uplift themselves and not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know what? They're uplifting white supremacy. That's what it goes into. Keep going.
27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor.
Listen, if this is not the Christian church, neighbor, everybody turn to your neighbor. You understand? Like, this is what they do. You understand? Like, it's a which thing to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams. The Lord came to me. Oh, he's coming to me. The Lord is coming to me, and he came to me in a dream last night, and he said, neighbor, turn to thy neighbor. You understand? This is the Christian church personified right now that we're reading about. You understand? Keep going. You can start from the top. 27.
27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
Listen, they teach our people to forget the name of the Most High. You understand? But they don't remember Baal. You understand? These false gods, you understand? These false deities, these graven images, you understand? They'll teach you to serve these things, but forget the name of the Most High. You understand? Forget the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Forget the way of life or the culture that the Most High set up for the nation of Israel. Forget all those things. But let's uplift Baal. You understand? Let's lift up false doctrine. Let's lift up Christianity. You understand?
Right.
Keep going.
"28. The prophets that have a dream, let him tell his dream. Let him tell a dream. And he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully, which is the chaff to the wheat, saith the Lord."
The prophet that hath a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that hath my word, let him speak my word. You understand? See, a lot of times, like, these prophets, they come with these elaborate dreams that don't know that's not of the Most High. You understand? But the real prophets are going to be speaking the words of the Most High. You understand? They are chaff. They say they are chaff to the wheat. Chaff ain't got nothing on the wheat. You understand? Like, the wheat is sustaining. The chaff is not. You understand? Like with these false prophets, the dreams that they have and all of their so-called visions and whatnot, guess what? They gonna fall by the wayside. But when you speak the word of the Lord, you understand, it's going to sustain you. It's going to fill you. You understand? This is what the Most High is saying. Keep going.
29. And it is not my word. Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh a rock in pieces.
It's not my word like as a fire, you understand? What does a fire do? A fire will burn down. You understand? The Most High words will burn down all these false doctrines. It will burn down these false prophets, you understand, these dreams that they have. And like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces, you understand? The Most High's word will crush all of these deceitful lies. You understand? Like you see it day in and day out. You know, people ain't gotta like how the Isupk, how we present things, you understand? But the one thing you can't say is that we ain't prophesying. Everything that you're seeing going in the earth right now has been being prophesied since 1969. Commander General Yohana has been on camera countless many of times saying this what's going to befall us in America. You understand? And it's starting to come to pass now. You understand? The Most High's word will crush any false doctrine out here. You understand? Keep going.
30. Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words, every man from his neighbor.
Listen, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words from everyone his neighbor. You understand? Like, how do you steal the Most High's, you steal the Most High's word, like you speaking your own words. That's what it really is. You understand? The things that the Most High is telling us to do, you understand? You won't teach that. You won't speak on that, but you'll speak on these false dreams that you have. You understand? Keep going, 31. What's that, 32? We have 32?
Okay.
Go ahead.
32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams.
I am against them that prophesy false dreams. What is a false dream? As we stated earlier, God loves everybody. You understand? Jesus Christ's birthday. We praying to the Lord and thanking Him for Thanksgiving. You understand? The laws are done away with. All we got to do is bless our food and we can eat anything under the sun. You understand? The Most High said, behold, I am against them that prophesy these false dreams. Keep going.
Saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies.
And cause my people to err by their lies. You understand? These false prophets, they're prophesying lies in the Most High's name, and it's not good enough that they're misled. But they actually go out there and they teach it to the Most High's people. And they cause the Most High's people to err. This is why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are in the conditions we're in right now. It's because of poor leadership. The leadership that we have will sell us down the river. You understand? Just for a nickel. Will sell us down a river just to impress our oppressor. You understand? Like the Most High can't do nothing with that. You understand? Keep going.
And cause my people to err by their lies and by their likeness. Yet I sent them not.
That means T.D. Jakes. What did the Lord say about T.D. Jakes?
I sent them not.
What did he say about Creflo Dollar?
I sent them not.
What did he say about Jamal Bryant?
I sent them not.
The Most High did not send these men. You understand? The Most High did not send these men who prophesied lies in his name.
That's right.
You understand? Like the Most High, when the Most High sends his priests and prophets out, you know it. You know how you know? Because everything that comes out of their mouth lines up with this Bible.
That's right.
All through this Bible, we learn that you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
We see what happens when we break them, but then we also can see when we come back to keeping them, how the Lord will fight for us. You understand? So if it's anybody teaching anything contrary to that, guess what? The Lord ain't sent them.
Right.
So if the Lord ain't sent them, who sent them?
Satan.
The devil. You understand? Who's the devil that the Bible speaks of?
The white man.
Damn right. The so-called white man, our oppressor. He's the one who gave Jamal Bryant the authority to be a pastor. Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes. You understand? He's the one who certified them. And what's the school they call it? They got a school where all these so-called pastors go to, and they got to get certifications in order to become a pastor. You feel me? But they have to pass tests according to what he says doctrine. You understand? The things that he set forth, they got to understand, and they got to be willing to go out and teach that. That's how you know the Most High didn't send them, but our oppressor did.
So they got to pass a test to lie.
Damn right. You understand? Keep going.
Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all, saith the Lord. Listen,
and this is what you see in the Christian church. The Christian church profits blacks and Hispanics absolutely nothing. You understand? As a nation, we'll go to the Christian church, we'll go to the Muslim mosque, we'll tithe and we'll donate. I think it's to the tune of in the last 20 years, or since 1980, to the tune of $420 billion have been circulated in the black Christian church. $420 billion. If that's not enough to start a country or a nation of your own, I don't know what kind of money we're gonna need. You understand? But the Most High just said they shall not profit this people at all. You understand? These people are not these pastors that's been set up. They have not been sent by the Most High. And that's why we see ourselves in the conditions that we're in. If I could, let me get Isaiah 9:16. We just gonna go through the Bible, man, and we're gonna show what the Most High thinks of these pastors. We're gonna see how these pastors sell us up a river, you feel me? We're gonna see how these pastors is the reason why we're destroyed today as we speak. You understand? Isaiah 9:16.
Isaiah 9:16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err.
For the leaders of this people cause them to err. Keep going.
And they that are led of them are destroyed.
And they that are led of them are destroyed. And it's very important that we take heed to these words, you understand? Because the Christian church ain't been in service in the last 3 months. The Most High to put chains on them doors, padlocks. But guess what? They already trying to, Esau, he's losing so much money in his economy that he's ready to open things back up. Even though people are still dying from it, he don't give a damn about that. He's still ready to open everything back up, you understand? Because in his mind, God ain't gonna do nothing to him. He's so proud, you know. The mayor up in New York, he said this ain't got nothing to do with God. You understand? The pride, the pride and the boastfulness of them. Man, we're gonna open everything back up. We don't give a damn about no coronavirus. We don't give a damn about people dying. This is their attitude. God ain't got nothing to do with this. This is how they're getting down. You understand? So the Christian church been closed for the last 3 months. In the last 3 months, the one thing that's been closed, that's been plaguing the black community for the longest time, the abortion clinic's been closed too. That means that children are living right now. You understand? Because that's the one thing that blacks and Hispanics are not going to do, is stop having sex. You understand?
Right.
Blacks and Hispanics are not going to stop having sex. That means babies are living. It's so many babies that live through this coronavirus. It's unprecedented. I remember at the beginning of the year, we was keeping track here in Baltimore. I think by January 30th, I think it was like by January 30th, they were up to like some astronomical number to the tune of like 20,000 abortions or something like that here in Baltimore alone. You understand? Do you know how many babies lived in the last 3 months because the abortion clinic's been closed?
Right.
You understand? But now that the Christian church is about to reopen, you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to remember where these people were at when we were suffering. You understand? You need to understand who fed blacks and Hispanics during a global pandemic. You understand? The Isupk did. You understand? It wasn't the Christian church. It was the Isupk. These crazy brothers on the corner telling everybody that they got telling blacks, Hispanics that we got to keep the laws and statutes of the most high. We were the ones on the corners feeding, clothing. You understand? While the pastors was sitting up in the hills, you understand, with his feet up, still collecting tithe money online. You understand? This is what our people have to understand. Read that again for me, Brother Kashar.
Isaiah 9 and 15. 16. For the leaders of this people causes them to error, and they are led of them, and they that are led of them are destroyed.
For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Like, how are we destroyed? We're destroyed because we don't even recognize our enemy, because we've been following our oppressor. We've been following the Christian church, you understand? When we think enemy, the first thought that comes to our mind is our brother. You understand? Like when we listen to the Christian church, we start to hate each other and we start loving the people that's actually killing us. You understand? Good.
It's powerful what you're saying, because we are destroyed because the Christian church tell us that we don't have to pay attention to the Old Testament.
God.
When clearly the Most High say he come in the volume of the book.
God.
But they don't teach that. They teach that the Old Testament is dead and that all the laws are done away with. So now our people think that we don't have to keep the law or even pay attention to the law. So we're serving the white man as if he was God.
And that's a heavy point, you feel me? Because just like when we was talking about the Deuteronomy, it was the Most High who said, hearken diligently. You understand?
That's right.
And when we don't hearken diligently to the Lord, we're going to hearken diligently to our oppressor.
Right.
And this is the conditions we've been in because we have not hearkened diligently to the Lord. You understand? And that's why the scripture says you can't serve two masters.
Right.
You understand? Because if you're not going to do what the Most High say, you actually going to do what the oppressor say.
And that's exactly what we're doing when we serve Mother's Day, birthdays, holidays, Christmas. We're serving the white man as if he was God, when God got high holy days that we don't even recognize or even know.
God. And what's so shameful about that? This is our culture.
Right.
Like the things that we do. Like, you ever hear them say, like, you know, people died. My people died so I can vote. People died. Like, soon as a person hear that as a black person you don't vote, they get angry with you. You can't speak on any black issues because you ain't vote. Right. People died for the right to vote. Guess what? People died for the right for us not to vote.
Right.
You understand? These high holy days that we keep, you understand? People died so that the name of Israel will still reign. You understand? People died to preserve this Bible that we're reading out of right now. People died so that the name of Israel, how they say in Psalms 83, it said that they consult together, you understand? They try to destroy the name of Israel. People died for Israel. Like we died for the oppressor in all of his wars and his military structures and whatnot, you understand? So we think just like he thinks. But we have an entire culture to our own. And you know what we say? Like, I hate when we say this. Oh, those are Jewish holidays. And they ain't talking about Jew in the sense of blacks and Hispanics. They talk about the Amalekites, the so-called Jewish man of Punk Heights, the Jewish man in Israel that wears that yarmulke on his head and the fringes, I ain't gonna say fringes, the tassels. You understand? Oh, those are Jewish holidays. So we just disregard our entire culture and give it to a man who stole our identity. You understand?
Right.
This is what Christianity teaches us. You understand? When they say every man your neighbor, these prophets who come prophesying lies. Keep going, verse 17, Brother Bishop.
9 and 17. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall he have mercy on their fatherless and widows.
See, and that's the thing. Like when we're led astray and we start sinning, the Most High takes no pleasure in our young men. Like the young men play a very important role. You feel me? Because these are the future priests and prophets and soldiers that's coming up, that's going to defend this nation. You understand? If you got a son, you raise him in the truth, he'll be the one prophesying. Most High will that he'll be the one prophesying and telling his people to return back to the Lord. He'll be the one standing up on the front line, ready to defend this nation against every other nation. You understand? Like, the young men are very important to the Lord. And right here saying the Lord can't even take pleasure in them. You understand? Our young men are homosexuals, weak, very emotional. You understand? And it is their fault? No. You know whose fault it is? The men who came before them. Because we've taught them that it's okay to be that way. You understand? Keep going.
For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly.
And it say for everyone is a hypocrite. Like, this is so heavy. Because you'll hear most of the older generation that say, yeah, back when I was out there, we had rules. We ain't get down like that. They blame the youth for everything. You understand? When actually you the problem. You the problem. You know why? Because in one hand, you saying that the laws are done away with. You saying that all you got to do is believe in Jesus. So when the young men go out here and start killing, and they become emotional, and they want to pull a pistol over every little offense, guess what? What's the problem in that? He ain't got to keep no law, statutes, commandments. It's done away with. The Lord said, thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. What's the problem with him doing that if they done away with? You see the problem? Do you see the hypocrisy in that? You can't have it both ways. The older generations are supposed to teach the younger generations the oracles of the Most High. The older generation are supposed to teach the law, statutes, and commandments and how important it is to serve the Most High. Instead, our older generation has sold the younger generation out, you feel me? They want to go and live good now. And they leave the young men to the wolves, you feel me? And that's why the Lord cannot take pleasure in the young men, you understand? Keep going.
For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.
For all this, his anger is not turned away, meaning like the Most High is angry. He has not turned his anger away. His hand is still stretched out. You feel me? Like, meaning you'll have an angel and he pulled that sword out his sheath and he got it stretched out over the city of Baltimore, over every hood, every barrio, every reservation. You understand? Them angels got them swords stretched out. And when those swords are stretched out, you feel me, it's bringing the anger and the wrath of the Lord upon the nation of Israel because we don't do what he told us to do. You understand? What the Isupk is sent here to do is to warn our people of the dangers that we're going through. Not only warn our people, but give the actual solution to how we fix the problems that we have. The Christian church can't give you that because they don't keep no rules. They don't keep no laws, statutes, and commandments. How can you fix a person? How can you fix a nation with no laws and no statutes and no commandments, no culture at all? You can't do it. That's why the Most High called them false prophets, and they prophesy lies in His name. You understand? Drop that. Let me get Matthew 15, verse 8. Like it's high time that we come back to serving the Lord, man, because we've been talking about problems after problems after problems. You go to these entertainers, you go to the politicians and these pastors, and they sit up there and they try to look prestigious, and they saying all these things out their mouth, but they ain't saying nothing. You understand? They ain't got no solutions for black people. But guess what? The Isupk we do. You understand? Yeah, the truth do hurt. The truth do hurt, you feel me? Because the truth is going to set you free. How do you get free? You gotta fight for your freedom, you understand? You gotta want it. Like, that sinful nature that's been inputted, that's in us, because this is all we've known our entire life, we gotta fight against that, man. We gotta want to change. The Christian pastor is going to tell you all the sweet things and keep you sinning. Won't keep you destroyed. We need the truth, you understand? We need the truth in order to grow. How they always say, no pain, no gain. It hurts to become righteous when we've been wicked so long. You understand? You got to go through the fire. This is the only way this is how you prove the soldier in you. You understand? Going through the fire and fighting your demons. Reaching out to a brother, you understand, and calling 2, 3 in the morning like, yo, I'm dealing with an issue, man. I need some counsel right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what it's going to require in order for us to fight these demons. You can't do that in the Christian church. You can't even ask questions in the Christian church. You understand? You got that scripture?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Matthew 15 and 8. This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth.
This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth. Like, this people draweth near unto me with their mouth. You know, you go to a Christian, you go to one of these preachers, listen, they'll motivational speech you to death. You understand? And won't be saying a goddamn thing. Won't be saying absolutely nothing. You be like, damn, did he pull a scripture? Not one. Man, did he go into the Bible and say what the Lord said? Not one time. You understand? These people draw close to me with their mouth. Keep going.
And honor of me with their lips.
And honor of me with their lips. Thank you, Jesus. Bless you, Jesus. You know, all that nonsense, you feel me? I remember when the captain say, you hear brothers start or end a phrase with praise Jesus. He is a homosexual, you feel? And it's the truth, man. Like, you know, praise Jesus and thank you, God, you know, and all this. You know, they do all this for show. They praise him and exalt him with their lips. Keep going.
But their hearts is far from me.
But their heart is far from me. Their heart, not the heart beating in your chest. Their heart meaning your mind. Your mind and your thoughts are so far from the Lord. You feel me? But yet on the outside, it appears that you're some kind of holy person. You feel me? Because you speak of well. You know, you speak with big words and all fancy and stuff like that, you feel me?
It look good.
Yeah, it look good. But at the end of the day, your mind and your heart is far from me. You understand? Keep going.
15 and 9. But in vain they do worship me.
But in vain they do worship me. What does vain mean? What is vain? Vain is the root of that is vanity. What is that? What does it mean to be vain? That means empty. It is emptiness, you understand? But in vain they do worship me. Like, you worship me, but it's empty. It holds no weight. It has no substance in it. You understand? Because you doing your own thing. You ain't doing nothing I told you to do.
Right.
Like, how can what you say have weight when you and you doing it in my name, and you ain't doing nothing that I said? You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men.
Teaching for doctrines, the commandments of men. This is what it comes down to. These Christian pastors, they teach the doctrines and commandments of men. What men? Our oppressors. They do the bidding for our oppressor.
Right.
They are the vessel of white supremacy. You understand? Like the colonizer or the so-called white man, our oppressor, he's not going to come before us and try to get us to understand God. But you know what? He'll put a black face in front of you. And that black face will push his agenda to the hills. You understand? That's how you know we can serve the Most High. That's how you know we can follow direction when we want to. Because then we do it for him. We do it for the oppressor. We do it well. You understand? Like, we go all out and we go hard for the oppressor. But we'll make it seem like to serve the Lord is so hard. We can't be perfect. We can't keep all the laws of God. Well, damn it, you do everything the oppressor say, you feel me? How about you give it a try? You understand? Let me get Hosea 4, chapter 4, verse 6.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Like, this is heavy. Like, this first phrase right here, it's a my people. It's a my people, meaning like this is something possessive. You understand? Like, he could have said all people, the people. You see what I'm saying? He said my people. The Most High is taking possession of the nation of Israel. Are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What is that knowledge? Because, you know, we read books all day long. We got books on the sun, books on the moon, hieroglyphs, you feel me? You know, breaking down all the 4 quarters of the body and the different spirits and all this philosophizing. We got the books, you understand? What knowledge are we talking about? The knowledge that we lack is the knowledge of the Most High. You understand? We lack the knowledge of the Most High. And what the Most High say we got to do to regain our position in this kingdom. What the Most High say is required for us to be what he called us to be. You understand? Like, and that's what this law do. This law maximizes your potential in this world. You feel me? By us keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, you get the maximum of who you're supposed to be in the Lord. You feel me? That's what these laws, statutes, and commandments do for blacks and Hispanics. Without them, we are lost. We do anything that everybody else do. That's why we get into every religion, every gang, every cult. You understand? The black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women and child is in all of them. The Most High is saying, come back home, man. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You got something?
That's so heavy what you're going into, because the scripture says we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The knowledge that we have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments are done away with. Told by us, by a Christian church.
God.
So we think that the law is done away with, so we don't have to keep it. And that's why the Most High is destroying us. Because the whole duty of man is to fear him and keep his commandments.
God.
And if we think we don't have to keep his commandments, he is killing us for that reason.
Damn right. And he's telling us.
Right.
And he's telling us, you feel me? Like, and that's why we attribute, like, that's why I said these pastors, they teach us to hate the Most High. It teaches us to be disobedient children. You know, when it comes to what the Lord say, we always got an opinion. But no, I didn't mean that. No, I ain't say that. You see what I'm saying? Like we gotta question everything the Most High say, but when the oppressor come with his rule book and his law book, we ain't gotta understand a damn thing. You feel me? And guess what? We ain't got no problem receiving the punishments of it. You understand? That's the one we should be questioning.
Yep. That's right.
Good.
Good. And like you said earlier, we want to pick and choose what we think should be good for us.
Good.
When the Lord already gave it to us.
Good.
I just had a conversation last night with a sister. Sister over 60 years old. She told me, I'm speaking about the Bible and certain things that I brought out. I agree with that, but I don't agree with that. I said, you don't agree with that because you don't think it's true, or you don't agree with that because you don't agree with what the Most High said in the Bible. I said, if you heard the Most High say this yourself, would you agree with it? No, because I don't believe God should do things like that. I believe He should love everybody. I said, well, who are you to tell God how to feel? God said, my wants are not your wants. You know what I'm saying?
See, but that goes into when you hear people say, I got a personal relationship with Jesus.
A personal, I bully Jesus relationship.
Because
they don't, even if they had a personal relationship, they would still follow what He say.
Yeah.
But they want God to follow what they say.
And like when a woman say, I got a personal relationship with the Most High, she'll say, with Jesus, she'll say, I got a personal relationship with Jesus. But damn, like 20 other women do too, right? So if all y'all got personal relationships with him, why you got a problem with a man having more than one wife? Right. You understand? And when a brother says, oh, I got a personal relationship with Jesus, that sounds gay. That's very gay. You see what I'm saying? And if I could, when people say stuff like that, it's because they don't want to keep the laws and statutes of the Most High.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, let's go to a scripture and hold that. Let's go to Proverbs 28:9. When people say that they got a personal relationship with the Most High, and they pick and choose what commandments they gonna listen to or whatnot, you understand? This is what the Most High says to them. You understand? You got that?
Proverbs 28:9. He that turneth away his ear.
I can eat pork. The Lord understands.
He that turneth away his ear.
I can smoke a cigarette from time to time.
He that turneth away his ear.
Yeah, I mean, the Lord shouldn't say that. You know, he should love everybody.
He that turneth away his ear.
Keep going.
From hearing the law, even his prayers shall be an abomination.
That means the Lord hears nothing that you say.
Right.
You understand? So that so-called personal relationship that you think you have is you talking to yourself. You understand? In some situations, you can get a check for that. You feel me? You can get disability for that. The Lord ain't hearing you.
Right.
You want to pick and choose what commandment you want to keep, and you want to tell them. You want to tell the Most High what's good for you and what He should and shouldn't be doing, and you want to do it the way you want to do it. You can pray all you want to pray, and guess what? The Lord ain't gonna hear you. You understand? And this is the problem with our people, and this is why we stay in the conditions we stay in. You feel me? Because the Christian church has taught us to be that way. Because the very essence of Christianity is not keeping no law, statutes, or commandments. So when you tell a person that you ain't got to keep no law, statutes, or commandments, they think they can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
Until that bullet get the back of their head. You understand?
Or the coronavirus grab them.
Or the coronavirus grab them. You see what I'm saying? AIDS. You know, your daughter get raped and molested. You feel me?
I'm not gonna freeze it.
Like this is where this is where it gets you. You understand? Let's go back to Hosea, verse 4, chapter 4, verse 6.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Keep on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge. What knowledge have you rejected? Have we rejected? You feel me? We've rejected the knowledge of the Most High. We've rejected these laws, statutes, and commandments. We've said that we ain't got to keep everything. We can't keep everything. I can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster as I see fit, as long as I pray over it. You understand? We've rejected the knowledge that said you can't do it. We've rejected the knowledge that you can't be a homosexual. Now they say you're born this way. So we reject the knowledge of the Most High, but anything that oppressor tell us, you know what? We'll eat on it. We'll feed on it. We'll study it. You understand? We'll brand it in our minds. And we think that we original thinkers or something, you know? We free thinkers. We ain't free thinkers. When you do anything outside of the Most High, all you doing is being a good slave for the oppressor. Keep going.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children.
And this is what happens. This is why our children are dying. This is why our children are destroyed. Because we don't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So when our kids are destroyed, and our kids are wilding out in the streets, now we want to blame the kids. Go ahead.
So many of our sisters and brothers crying, why would God take my kid?
Right.
Because this scripture say, you have forgotten the law of thy God, so I will also forget thy children.
Right. The Most High stands by his word, you understand? But the thing is, this is the hypocrisy of it too. Just like we read in the previous scripture, it say, the Lord takes no pleasure in our youth. That's because our youth are destroyed because the older generation, our parents, you understand? They told us that we ain't got to serve the Lord either. They said we can do whatever we want to do. You ain't got to listen to them. You ain't got to listen to them crazy Negroes on the corner keep talking about the white man is the devil. And then you go out there and you surround yourself with the oppressor, and he stabs you in your back, and then you wondering why. It's because you rejected the knowledge that the Lord was giving you. You understand? This is the issue that we have with our people, you feel me? Like we're suffering because of this. And it's all because of these pastors, man. And these Christian churches that teach our people that we ain't got to keep no law, statutes, and commandments. Keep going.
7. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame.
That's heavy, man. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Like the more we grew, the more we sinned against the Most High. You feel me? Therefore, will I change their glory into shame. The things that made us a great nation is now shameful to us. You understand? You know, being like we used to be a moral people. You understand? Now we're covered in shame because we do everything outside of the Most High. Like the Most High is he's breaking it down to us, the things that we've done. But as we read earlier, the things that we got to do in order to get back in his good graces. You understand? This don't have to be an absolute condition that we stay in. We don't have to stay in hell. We can actually start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, and the Lord will give us heaven on earth. You understand?
Right.
Like that's the kingdom of God. When you got black men and Hispanic men and Native American men ruling, you understand? This is what we're looking forward to. We ain't looking forward to being equals with nobody. We're looking forward to ruling this earth. You understand? This is what the Most High wants to give to us. That's why we got to come out of these Christian churches, man. We got to come out of these false religions and come back to the culture of serving the Most High.
Right.
You understand? Let me get Proverbs 1 and 5.
Proverbs 1 and 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning.
A wise man will hear and increase learning. A wise man gonna hear this and he gonna say, well, you know what, them brothers on to something. Let me get in class. Let me go to class, man, and learn some more. Let me ask some questions. Keep going.
And a man of understanding shall attend unto wise counsel.
And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. You understand? This is very important too. Because it's a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. Far too often, we do not get wise counsel. You understand? We got a beef with a brother, you feel me? And we going to our cousin Ty, who already got the spirit of murder on him, you feel me? And we trying to resolve an issue with his advice, you understand? Where's the wise counsel found? If you have any issues, if you have any problems, if you have any situations that you're in right now, you call the Isupk, you understand? And you will get your wise counsel. This is what we do, man. You ain't got to be in the Isupk to call and get assistance from us. You understand? You call the Isupk with an issue, and we have brothers who will counsel you through. You understand? This is what the Lord has set up for his people. Do you know how many people who are not in the Isupk call the Isupk for counsel? Like it's a many of people who had nothing to do with the school, but will call for counsel. You understand? Which is smart of them. But if this is the place where you know you can receive wise counsel, why not come and be a part of it? So that therefore you can be built up and one day you can give wise counsel. You understand? This is how it's supposed to work. Any more on that? It's like you drop that. Let me get matter of fact, go to verse 7.
Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You understand? When you understand that the Most High, when he said, this shall come to pass, that it will come to pass, and you have that right, and you have that proper fear of the Most High, that's when you're now going to start to listen. If I could put it to you, let's say you got Debo on the block. You understand? You already know what Debo about. Debo gonna knock you out if you misstep. You feel me? You misspeak or you misstep, you're gonna get knocked out cold. You understand? And the thing is, you got a fear of Debo because you don't want to get knocked out. So everything that comes out of Debo's mouth, you're gonna listen to him. Because you don't want to misstep or you don't want to misspeak because you already know what's coming down the pipe. You understand? This is the same thing with the Most High. Hear what the Most High say, right? To fear the Most High is to understand the power of the Most High. You understand? Is to understand the Most High. He is the one who kills and makes alive. He's the one who can punish you. They say don't fear him that can kill the body, but fear him that can kill the body in the spirit. You understand? That's who you should fear. And once you understand that about the Most High, now you can start to listen. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Keep on.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
But fools despise wisdom. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. That nigga's crazy, sure. I ain't trying to hear that, man. They always talk about God, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I'm trying to get this money out here, man. Yo crazy. Every time yo come around, yo want to talk that God stuff, man. But fools despise wisdom and understanding. You understand?
And instruction.
And instruction. Hey, listen, man. Listen, the Most High said you shouldn't be eating that, man. You shouldn't be eating that because it's going to kill you. Man, I ain't trying to hear all that, man. You always on that God stuff, man. God ain't worried about what I eat. 5 years later, you got diabetes. 5 years later, you fighting gout. You got high blood pressure. You can't even see. You dizzy. You know, you messed up. Yo, I should have listened when you said don't eat that shit, man. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens. That we pay for not following what the Lord says to us. You understand? We die from it. That's why I say the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. You understand? Keep going.
8. My son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
My son, hear the instruction of thy father. You understand? Do what your father say. Do what your father say. Be obedient to what your father is teaching you. You understand? Right. And forsake not the law of thy mother. Does this mean that your mother has a law of her own? No. All it means is that your mother, when you're young, typically it's your mother who's teaching you the words of the Lord. You feel me? Because she was taught to it. It was taught to her by her husband. You understand? Don't forsake that. Keep going.
9. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
Listen, this is your crown and jewels right here. You understand? This is your wealth. You understand? You see a dude, he got a nice crown on, it's studded out, you feel me? He got a nice chain on, you feel me? Like that brother, he getting it. Man, I know that chain costs 100,000, you see what I'm saying? Or 500,000. This is what these laws and these laws, statutes, and commandments are to us, you understand? It's more than the riches of this world. When we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand, we have wisdom beyond our years. Now, young men can prophesy according to the Lord. You understand? Our sisters, like you can see the difference in a man and woman that's been in the ISUPK as opposed to someone who hasn't. You understand? Like, you can call me biased all you want to, but it's a clear distinction. You feel me? Like, yes, you have, like, you gotta be, this is where men are raised. Soldiers are raised here in the ISUPK, you understand? But this is true brotherhood here. You understand? You won't find brotherhood like this nowhere else. Like when you getting checked here in the ISUPK, that's because the Lord wants you to get checked in the ISUPK. The Lord is trying to make you stronger. The Lord done seen something in you that needs to be that needs some attention. You understand? But the brotherhood is unparalleled. You understand? You can go anywhere else in the world and you won't find brotherhood like this. You understand? This is this is according to the scriptures, man. Brothers fear the Most High and love the Most High so much, you feel me? You can see it in the way that we deal with each other. We deal with each other according to these scriptures, you understand? According to the law of God. And this is how it's supposed to be. Let me get 1 John 5:3 up this show. And this scripture is definitely for these so-called priests and pastors out here, and Christians who say the law is done away with, and you ask them, how do you love the Most High? Well, you gotta love the Most High. It's I feel so good, and He comes to me in my time of need. I needed that job, and He gave me a job. That ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. That has absolutely nothing to do with the Most High. We want to read in Scripture how you love the Most High. You got that?
1 John 5:3. For this is the love of God.
For this is the love of God. Now, what comes after this is the instruction that tells you how you're supposed to love the Most High. Keep going.
Once again, 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we what?
That we keep his commandments.
That his laws are done away with.
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. You understand? Keep going.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not grievous. You understand? For this is the love of God. If you ever wanted to know how do you show the Most High, how you love him, I know prior to coming into the truth, man, I always questioned that, you know. How do I show the Most High that I love him? You feel me? Like, how do I show the Most High that I want to rock and I want to get down with him? You see what I'm saying? Lo and behold, here it is. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. You understand? That you love your brother as yourself. That you don't worship these false idols. You understand? You don't serve, you know, Caesar Borgia or that rock in Mecca. You understand? You don't serve America. You understand?
Birthdays, holidays.
Yeah, you don't keep birthdays and celebrate the oppressors' holidays. You understand?
Mother's Days and Father's Days.
Mother Day, Father Day, Thanksgiving, all that nonsense. You don't do none of that. You understand? For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. Like, they not hard. Like, keeping the laws, the Lord's commandments is not hard, man. You just got to want to do it. You don't. It's one thing to not know how to do it, but then it's another thing to just have a will to do it.
Right.
You understand? This is how you show the Most High that you love him. And guess what? This is in the New Testament.
Right.
This is how the Most High say that he wants you to show him that you say you love him. This is what he wants you to do. Let me get 1 John 3 and 4, Bubba the Show.
First John 3 and 4.
So like, this for everybody who don't know, this is the New Testament. The New Testament that the Christians like to read and say, you know, this is what they read out of because the Old Testament is done away with. The laws are done away with. This is the New Testament that we're reading out of. Go ahead.
1 John 3 and 4. Whatsoever, Shalaki, whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law.
Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. So that means that we still can sin. Like, we sin by transgressing all. Like, what's another word for transgressive?
Breaking.
Breaking. I like violating. You see what I'm saying? You violating the law, you feel me? This is what you do. But like, when you sin, it's because you violating the law, you feel me? Like, you ever had to step to somebody and you had to tell them, like, yo, you violated me, huh? You see what I'm saying? It's offensive. You see what I'm saying? It's something that's disrespectful. Man, you violated me. That means you did something against me you was never supposed to do. This is what you did. This is what we do when we sin. We transgress the law of the Most High. You understand? Keep going.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
For sin is the transgression or the violation of the law. You feel me? Anytime you violate the law, like, don't no man like getting violated. You feel me? Don't no man like getting violated. That feeling that you feel if you've been violating somebody that disrespected you, you see what I'm saying? This is what sin feels like. You understand? When you violate the laws of the Most High, you transgress the Most High, this is when you're sinning. You understand? And that's why these classes are so important, man, because we got to understand what our offenses are. We got to understand that the things that we do offend the Most High, man. It violates the Most High, man. If you can respect that on the street level, you feel me, you damn sure got to respect it when it comes to the Most High. You understand? You got a dude on the block and you violate him, you already know you can lose your life over that. So you know what you do? You don't violate them. You make sure that you walk that thin line, you feel me? You make sure that you don't cross that line. You understand? But we feel like we can cross the line with the Most High. And that's only because these wicked pastors have taught us that we can't. Because the law, statutes, and commandments are done away with. If there's anything you take from this class tonight, you understand that we are not to violate the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. We are not to transgress any of it. You understand? And with that, we're going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer of 1,000, Gabar Rakar, for a reading of the security announcements.
We are the ISUBK out of 1 West 125th Street Hall, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are to be saluted only. Comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 through Malachi 8, 3 and 8 through 10. Meaning, 10th in Hebrew, and is pronounced by Isupk. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest funds, free will offerings for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. The Passover is still to come. And June the 5th, we got the Feast of First Fruit. Pentecost. Remind Akim and Akwar to check on social media such as ISUBK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUBK events and materials. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes headband, boots, scarf, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadi Shabbat, Amadi, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat. Class dismissed. Guys, class dismissed.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shah, Mashiach, and Christ. Any man give his life for Yahweh Shah, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
We ain't tight. You got a problem, tell them across the fucking line. My niggas ain't polite. Soldiers to the left and right. I die for every man by
slow. Attack dog for this truth, nigga. Cool zone. With no consequence, but you will pay this. You should've used your common sense. My seal lit, that means you could never perfect it. With a true seal, ayy, with warriors 12. Be wise with the weapons, cause I promise. My knowledge is like my wife, she concealed, she wise. I know 2 things, I'm wrong when I pop it. Any man harm me and my octave gon' meet the devil. Cause walk, been watching my people die, so you can miss me with that love. Somebody you be take soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret what that means. Fall on his ass, comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Lonely one west, say what? Lonely one west. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up, I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. Somebody won't fit, boy. Get ground, back up, get ground, get ground, back up, get ground, get ground. Somebody won't fit, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down.
You want this color brown?